Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we have another story from the Tales from the Dark Multiverse, this time focusing on Batman, Knightfall. The Multiverse, a collection of possibilities and realities. A vast landscape of worlds, held back from darkness by the thinnest of barriers. But what is that barrier? That barrier is a moment, a decision. What would have happened if Batman crossed the line of no killing and murdered the Joker? Well, we already know what happened. He became the Batman who laughs when he inhaled the toxin that was in Joker's body. The Dark Multiverse. This is the place where what we know and what should never become to pass. Everything you fear, every possibility, lives here, and it has its own world. This dark story begins at that moment when Bane broke Batman's back with a brutal knee strike. This is a broken world, lost long ago to the wrong successor. Jean-Paul Valley, a perversion of the mantle. Eventually, Bruce Wayne returned, looking to correct his mistake and save the city from the usurper. As we already know, in another world, he succeeded, but not here. Here, Azrael attacked from behind, killing Batman in that very moment. Jean-Paul promised Bruce he was right to choose him. He is what Gotham needs, and he will show it. In the years that followed, Gotham underwent widespread change. A purging fire, a costly reconstruction. Gotham is a city of codes, restless tenants who protect their people and memories from the world. 30 years after that event, as we can see, the city is completely shattered. We are at the Dumas estate, the former Wayne Manor. Madeline tells Azrael that the city is safe. However, there is a situation that requires his attention. Earlier today, a man was apprehended trying to cause harm. His variety of weapons speaks of his ambition. And who is this man? A stranger, Luis Ramos. The Cardinal apprehended Ramos before he could carry out his campaign, whatever it was, and Ramos remained silent. However, the news outside Gotham is not good. The Woodrue pandemic is spreading. People are throwing 2,000 petrified bodies a day into the Lazarus pits. The victims return only half alive, and then there was the parasite cataclysm in Metropolis 2 years ago. The pressure is mounting in Gotham. Azrael tells her that the outside world does not concern them. He needs to ask Torchbearer to bring Cobblepot alongside Ramos. Though in truth, his presence won't be necessary. This is the day. Each year, this exchange happens exactly the same way. But he must go through it once more. Azrael says yes. He made a promise. Of course, he must do it. After all, what are they without the foundations of betrayal? Azrael puts on his mask and is about to leave. The Cardinal and the Torchbearer have his authority. He must ensure justice is served. So, what is Jean-Paul busy with? The end of the third Sunday of the last month of summer, a constant of their time together. And yet he wonders, will this be the day that changes everything? Will this be the day Bruce finally accepts reality? Azrael stands in front of an old Bruce Wayne. Bruce asks him about a confrontation of forces at Gotham Center. Will this be an example to be set? Azrael says an outsider with bad intentions will deal with it. Bruce tells him Cobblepot as well, surprised it took so long. Hearing this, Azrael says he now has his approval and begins torturing Bruce. The convulsions are getting worse, aren't they? Not enough to kill him, but enough to keep him in agony. As always, he offers peace. It only requires the simplest of acknowledgments, and his pain will end. Despite all he has been trying to do, Bruce Wayne does not grant the acknowledgement. Bruce asks where his children are. What happened to all the pain he caused them? Azrael tells him he did what none of them could. While the world crumbled, he kept Gotham standing. Batman ruled by half measures, partial codes. In truth, he couldn't rule at all, and that's because he was too afraid. Azrael believes in his own methods, and now they are what the rest of the world aspires to do. He has always been the Batman this city needed, and all he wants now is for Bruce to accept it. If he does, he will find peace. Bruce tells him that the Batman this city needs is strong enough to save it in a crisis. Azrael is weak, paranoid, overdosed on more and more venom. His grip is slipping. When the next crisis comes, and it will come, he will falter, and of course, Azrael will fall. After hearing this, Azrael leaves. Meanwhile, Cobblepot is on trial, accused of aiding and instigating. Cobblepot pleads innocent. These gentlemen need to take a moment to discuss this with him. Azrael and he have maintained a mutually beneficial relationship. They must let him speak with him. If he is wrong, then he will make amends. This situation is simply a misunderstanding. But it seems they don't consider it a misunderstanding because they are about to behead him. And what about Luis Ramos? He is accused of illegal entry into Gotham. Luis tells them to do whatever they want. It won't change what's coming. He is only the beginning, and there is nothing Saint Batman can stop. The reckoning is coming. His words end, and Luis too is beheaded. All this is done for Gotham, to make it a better city. A little later, explosions begin happening across different parts of the city. 5 in total. Several Acolyte halls have been attacked, and it's unknown how many are dead at this point. Jean-Paul receives a message. Purgatory has been breached. Heretics fill the streets, aided and armed by a shadow army. They are attacking the main cathedral, trying to seize control. This is nothing more than a coup. If that's the case, then Azrael prepares. They will meet them head-on. While all this is happening, someone has managed to kill all the guards of Wayne Tower to infiltrate it. This person ascends to the tower to meet Bruce Wayne. Bruce asks who they are. The mysterious man only says he's here to save him and free Gotham. But they need to move fast. He gives it a 55% chance his army will take the cathedral. Bruce doesn't think they can pull it off, but this person thinks otherwise. Does he really believe he's going to save Gotham? He's not even the first to launch a full-scale attack on the city. What makes him think he's prepared for the task? Things seem to be getting more complicated as the guards arrive at the scene. The person pulls up a hood and asks Bruce Wayne if he didn't mention who his father was. Well, it doesn't matter now because he's much better and is about to start taking down all the guards he can. No one will be able to face him. There's something strange about him. He managed to turn this way without even using any tubes. His body produces venom naturally. He supposes his father took too much and it got into his genes. This is strange. The son of Bane and the one true Batman teaming up to save Gotham. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Bruce tells him that it's barely a head start. Obviously, he's not going to save anything. Bane's son tells him not to worry. They have a plan for that. A little later, Bruce Wayne asks Bane's son if he ever knew his father. He tells him that Saint Batman found him when he was just a child. Now Bruce asks him about his mother. But before the boy can say anything, he starts to suffer. To Bruce's surprise, someone new arrives. It is Shiva, the one he once sought out for help to acquire the skills necessary to reclaim his mantle and the city. But she returns to him now to finish what they started. Bruce asks why. She tells him that not everyone sees it, but Gotham was always a beacon under him. Bruce always brought out the best in his people. He reminded them that they were arbiters with a shared destiny. When Gotham fell, something broke. And besides, the smug son of a bitch who did all this killed this boy's father. He has spent his life preparing to take him down. The League of Assassins has been planning this attack for years, moving agents into place, smuggling weapons and explosives into the city so they can finally liberate it once and for all. Bruce tells her that they don't need him. The boy says his father could have been a hero, but he was deformed over the years, alone, separated, isolated. That's the demon in this, and he is the son of his enemy. If Gotham opens its doors and the world sees him fighting with them, they can fix his spine. The world can rise again when they see Batman. Now she has the means to restore his body. The only question is, does Bruce Wayne still have the will he needs to become the Batman of this city? Meanwhile, what's been happening while Bruce Wayne was being rescued? Well, Batman is in trouble. All the venom is affecting him, and he has now arrived at the Batcave to get some more. But when he tries to take it, he is surprised someone has taken his venom, and there is none left. And who is responsible? Well, it's Bane's son and Shiva. Yet there is a bigger question for Jean-Paul. Who let them in? The one responsible is Madeline. She has been by his side for many years. Sadly, she can no longer stay. His dependency on venom, his fixation on Bruce Wayne's approval, has simply clouded his mind, and despite her pleas, he doesn't listen. She's very sorry, but she cannot assist anymore in something she doesn't believe in. So, she has nothing left to do here. The Cardinal must take care of her, and he kills her with a brutal blow from behind. This sparks great fury in Jean-Paul. They've invaded his city, stormed his home, and taken his wife from him. Her death won't be quick. To Jean-Paul and his men, this brings a certain amount of amusement. How is it that a child and a woman are going to deal with them? Well, they aren't alone. Batman is also here, Bruce Wayne. Jean-Paul can't believe it and orders them to massacre everyone. Suddenly, we see a massive explosion. This night was designed to push him to the limit. And if he survives, then he will face him. So congratulations. Honestly, he's glad he got this far. Bane's son has long been eager to kill him. Jean-Paul tells him he will be severely disappointed because he's going to disable his suit. Shiva takes advantage of the situation and delivers a hard kick to Jean-Paul. Torchbearer is about to get up to help his saint, but that won't be possible since Batman easily takes him down. Meanwhile, Shiva continues delivering a barrage of blows to Jean-Paul. He presented himself as virtuous. He turned the city into a paragon of discipline and control, but he's none of that. He's just an addict. Even his beloved gave up Venom. If he hadn't, Jean-Paul wouldn't have been strong enough to kill Bane. There's a brief distraction, which Jean-Paul uses to deliver a brutal hit. As he gets up, he admits he has become overconfident and will abstain in the future. But tonight, with the crisis at hand, he'll simply have to find a new source. And it seems he's found one, as he prepares to tear off Bane's son's arm. And there's the new source of Venom. Jean-Paul has regained his strength. At that moment, Batman arrives and tells him his time is up. Jean-Paul replies, "No, this won't end the way you think, because Bruce Wayne doesn't even know what he believes in. He never did." Before Jean-Paul can harm Batman, Bruce uses an electrical attack to take him down. Jean-Paul tries to get up. He's a Batman motivated by faith. And this Batman was always motivated by fear. Two very different motivations, but Bruce had good reason to fear. He's too strong to fail. Bruce was always destined to lose, to break, to fall aside in favor of the one true Batman. Jean-Paul was about to finish off his opponents when Bane's son arrives and stabs him with his own blade, then breaks his back. It's all over for Saint Batman. Azrael is finished. Now that they've succeeded, it's time to open Gotham's gates to the world. Bruce tells them it's already too late. The world is broken. They came here to try to save the world, to reconnect Gotham, use it and its people to heal the wound. But the truth is, some wounds don't heal. What's broken can't always be fixed. Sometimes it must be remade, and it must take care of itself. What's good for the world isn't what's good for Gotham. Obviously, for Bruce Wayne, they are not good for this city, so he's going to end them right now. For 30 years, Jean-Paul forced him to watch as he perverted his life's work, his name. But Bruce wasn't wrong before. He kept the city standing. He set it on its new path. The truth is, his greatest mistake was the same as Jean-Paul's, trusting no one but himself. And now, thankfully, he will never have to do that again. Gotham belongs only to the Bat. A decision, a moment, the thinnest barrier between what we know and what never should have been. It took an unimaginable amount of pain and decades of suffering for Bruce Wayne to finally give up on everyone except himself, to forge a new legacy with no successor. This is a broken Batman. With the crisis looming, I turn my gaze to the Dark Multiverse in search of any new world that may be of help. Perhaps I was naive to believe there was hope for a broken world. At least, as I see it now, there is no hope in this world. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.